My last video did so extremely good that I just had to come out with a new video before the end of the year. And this video is going to be a little different than what I usually make. So in this video, I want to talk about my top 3 biggest manifestations that came true this year and my top 3 biggest mistakes that I'm going to talk about, which will help you guys probably avoid making those similar mistakes in the next year. So this video is going to be full of a lot of inspiration and takeaways. So this is going to be a packed video, and let's get into it. Hello guys, my name is Nifty and I talk all about mindset and manifestation. And today we're going to talk about number 1, my first biggest manifestation of the year. So the first one, which I definitely need to mention, would be the house that I live in right now. The odds of me living in this house. So first off, this is a beautiful house in a beautiful neighborhood, and it's like 12 bedrooms or something. It's crazy. And I rent out this room, which is like kind of like a basement suite. I got my own bathroom. I'm like very isolated and separated from the rest of the house. So what goes out in the other parts of the house really does not get to me. Like my room doesn't even share walls with anybody else in the house. So I feel like it's very isolated. It's very private and I absolutely love it. And even the people in the house are so nice to me. And I'm not even kidding. It's so rare to actually find people and tenants who are really good to you, landlords who really want what's the best for you, who are really looking out for you. I think it's pretty rare because I think I just attract the right kind of people when I'm kind of like looking to rent out. But I do hear a lot of stories of people who've just had really bad experiences with renting and tenants and things like that. So I, for one, am really grateful for this house that I live in, but that's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing is how I actually manifested getting this house. So it was in the February of this year when I was actually moving from another city to Vancouver, and I knew I had like my list of things that I wanted from the new house. I had these things like, okay, you know, the rent should be under this much. It should be like 5 to 10 minutes from the bus stop. And, you know, I had like my whole list of things that I wanted from the new house. And the interesting thing is this place, it showed up on the internet, and I called the landlord. I told her I'm interested, and we did a viewing, which was online because obviously I was in another city, so I couldn't come and visit. So we did a viewing online, and the most crazy part, the divine intervention, was because the rent was very cheap for this place. There were a lot of people who actually contacted her and who wanted to come and see this place. But the day I did my video viewing was the day when, for some miraculous reason, this never happens, honestly. I don't know if this has happened in the last few years, but on that particular day, like the next 3 days, there was a transit strike in Vancouver, and all the sky trains, the buses, like nothing was running, and all the viewings that she had scheduled for that day got canceled because of the transit strike. There were only 2 people who saw the house. One was me with my virtual viewing, and then there was another girl who actually came in and saw that house. And when my landlord came to know that, okay, you know, there's gonna be a transit strike, like for 3 days, nobody's gonna be able to come. Everybody was canceling their appointments, and she just wanted to get it done. She just wanted the room to be rented out. So she called up the first girl who actually came to the viewing to see the place, and that girl said, okay, you know, I'm going to see another house in the evening and I will get back to you as soon as I'm done with that viewing. That's what she told her. And my landlord, the next thing she did was she called up to me and she was like, Nifty, I have the place available. If you want it, it's yours. And I was like, where do I pay the deposit? And I paid the deposit within the next 5 minutes because I knew this was the house, because first off, it fit everything that was on my list. And second thing I remember very clearly was the day she called me to tell me that this was available, it was 444. It was an angel number. As soon as I saw that she was calling me, my landlord, and the number was like 444, the time was 444, I just knew that she's calling me to give me the house and this house is mine. And as soon as I picked up, she told me that, oh, you know, like if you want it, it's yours. And I was like, where do I pay the deposit? And then I got the house. And soon after I got the house, in the evening, the other girl actually called my landlord to tell her that she wanted to put in the deposit and she wanted the place because obviously my place was better than the other place that she saw. But my landlord was like, it's too late, you know, like I already have a girl who's paid a deposit and it's gone. And so that is the magic story of how I manifested this house. It's a beautiful house. And what is more beautiful than this house is the people that I live with. They're so supportive. They're so friendly. It feels like I'm living with a family. It feels like family away from home. The auntie, she cooks for me, like their kids, they're so close to me. I take care of their dogs. Like it literally feels like I'm part of this family. So I feel very blessed to be here. But honestly, this is definitely going to be one of my top manifestations of 2024. Okay, so number 2, the second biggest manifestation for 2024 is going to be a job which I had for a month, which actually was more than just a job. Okay, so let me elaborate. There was this list of things that I wanted to get from Sephora. Like I wanted like a moisturizer, I wanted a toner, and I wanted like a body scrub and things like that, which I wanted to get from Sephora. And I knew that getting all these things was like, I had things in my wish list, the list of things that I wanted. And I knew that, you know, the things were accounting to something like $300. So I was kind of like, you know what, I'm going to save up the money. But in the meantime, I'm just going to put it out there into the universe, make it happen in some way or the other. And then out of nowhere, a friend of mine tells me that somebody that she knows is looking for somebody to hire to work in the beauty industry, to work as a brand rep. And I was like, okay, you know, like I've worked as a beauty brand rep in the past before. And I was like, okay, you know, like this job is like right in my alley. This is something that I could easily get. And I even knew the person who was actually hiring for the position. So I was like, you know what, I should just reach out to them and see what's happening. And then I did reach out to them and then we had an interview and I got hired for the job. But the crazy part, and now comes the miracle, now comes the manifestation, okay? So as soon as I got the job, first off, I got my gratis from the brand, which was like probably like $500 worth of stuff from their brand. And this is obviously a brand that reps in Sephora. All the things they gave me were all the things that were on my list of things that I wanted to get from Sephora. They gave me a moisturizer, a face wash, a body scrub, a toner, all the things that I literally wanted to get from Sephora. I got them for free because I was repping this brand. And the even crazier thing that happened after is soon after they hired me, 1 month later, the brand actually sold their management team and, you know, they went into a contract with like a third party who was hiring for them or something like that. So they basically had to let us go. So they paid me for a month. They gave me my free gratis worth for like 6 months to a year. And then they let me go. To me, it was like, hold on a second. It kind of feels like the only reason they hired me was so I could tick off this thing on my vision board, which talked about buying things from Sephora, the things that I needed. Because that was literally all that happened. Like they literally gave me the things which were on my list. And then I got my things. And then like 1 month later, they paid me for the 1 month and then they let go of all the people in their team, which was crazy. But in end of the day, universe is working in very divine, magical, miraculous ways to bring you the things you want. So I was like, you know what? I got what I want. I'm so happy. I was so satisfied. I was so happy I got paid for that as well. And yeah, so that's going to be definitely my second biggest miracle for the year. Now time for my third biggest miracle of the year. Okay, this absolutely a mind-blowing experience for me because this is not something that I thought was going to happen. And also, this was not something that I anticipated would happen. It wasn't even something that I even thought about that would happen. So basically, this story is about my brow tattoo. So this year I got my brow tattooed, but it's the story, guys. It's the details that makes everything so magical and miraculous. So my brow tattoo was something that was on my vision board for the whole of the year. It's pretty much been there, and it's not something I've actively thought about. I didn't even look up how much it's going to cost to get a brow tattoo, because it wasn't just something that I had thought about. It was just something I wanted. I just put it out into the universe, and I did not have a single clue of how this was going to happen. So that's like one part of the story. And the other part of the story was this year I really wanted to get a tattoo, and my whole purpose of getting a tattoo was I wanted to get a tattoo like on my arm here with kind of like a representation of the universe. Kind of like I wanted it to be my first tattoo, which kind of symbolizes universe is me. Like I am the universe. Like every time I look at that tattoo, something that reminds me that I am bigger than Nifty, you know, like I am the entire universe. Whatever I want, I can have, because I am backed by the universe. I am the universe. So this was kind of my idea for what I wanted for my first tattoo. And then the most magical, miraculous thing happened, guys. So, out of nowhere, on one of these WhatsApp groups that I was part of, somebody on the group just put in this message saying that, oh, you know, like I have this person who runs their own like brow brand, and they're looking for Instagram models so they can do their brows for you, and they do the brows for free, and all they want is like a model and your consent to like put your photos, your videos, and film the whole content and put it online on social media. And I was like, they want me to get brows? Like they're gonna give me free brows, and all they want is to put my face on social media. Like I do that all the time. Like if you know me on Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, because I post a lot of shit on Instagram. I literally post whatever is happening in my life. I try to keep it positive and personal development and stuff like that, because that is what I'm into. But then I literally post everything about my life on social media. Like anything good that happens in my life, I post about it on social media. Anytime I'm venting about something, I post about it on social media. So I do post a lot on Instagram. So if you don't follow me already on Instagram, please do follow, because it'll be so much fun. And also, if you're liking this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel, because I do plan on coming out with videos every single week. Previously, I was doing a video every 2 weeks, but I have been seeing that a lot of you guys have been liking my content. You have been engaging and showing lots of love and support. And I've also had people reaching out to me on Instagram and telling me, giving me ideas on what kind of videos you guys want me to talk about. So that really inspired me. So I'm really gonna try to come out with a new video every single week. So do subscribe, guys. Okay, now coming back to the brow story. So when I saw that this was the thing, like, you know, they wanted an Instagram model, and I was like, you know what, I do that already all the time. Like, I don't care where you put my face on. If you're gonna give me a free tattoo, a free brow tattoo, I will take it. And I was like, I just texted them. I was like, hey, you know, I'm interested and blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I wasn't even expecting. In my mind, I was like, okay, there's gonna be so many people who's gonna, you know, like apply for it, because it's like a free brow tattoo, right? Who wouldn't want like a free tattoo that's worth like hundreds and hundreds of dollars? But somehow I did get selected, and then they wanted me to come over, and they gave me a free brow tattoo, which is worth, I think, $450 was like their actual charge that they cost, and got it completely free. I didn't have to pay a penny for it. Now I have a brow tattoo, and I didn't even realize it till later, like maybe like 2-3 days after I got my tattoo, that I actually looked at it through a bigger picture and realized what a big miracle had happened. First off, I got my first ever tattoo as I wanted, and I wanted my first tattoo to be a reminder, a sign from the universe showing me that I am the universe and I can have anything I want. And literally every day morning when I wake up and look at myself in the mirror, that is what I see. I see my brows every time I look at myself in the mirror when I wake up in the morning. The first thing that comes to my mind is, Nifty, you are a fucking miracle, and you make miracles happen in your life every day. And every time I look at my brows, that is the thing I'm reminded about, that I'm a fucking miracle and I make miracles happen. I make magic happen, baby, because I am pure fucking magic. I am the universe, and that is what it reminds me every time I look at it. And the weirdest, most amazing part is, it all turned out better than I could have imagined. Like I told you, like I wanted a brow tattoo, but I also wanted like a tattoo on my arm, which kind of signifies how the universe is me and all that. But end of the day, I got it all, and it happened in a more magical and miraculous way than I could have hoped for. And so if you're taking away anything from this video, that is what I want you to take away, that universe always has a bigger and better plan for you, even if you cannot see it in the moment. Okay, now let's head into part 2 of the video. That is the biggest mistakes from 2024. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for this, because this is going to actually bring out some light bulb moments in your head and make you realize some things. Be like, oh damn, I went through that too. Maybe this is a lesson I should take into 2025. So the first thing I learned from this year 2024 is, you don't need to hang out with people just because you don't have anybody to hang out with. It's going to hit deep for some of you guys, because we do this so often, and I did it in 2024, and because I went through it, I realized that I had people in my life that I was hanging out with just because I did not have better people to hang out with. And I knew at some level that hanging out with these people was not good for me mentally, emotionally, physically. Like, sometimes you just hang out with people just because you don't have anything better to do. You feel like you would rather hang out with somebody else than be by yourself and be in your room and not have anything to do. You are better off being by yourself, doing the things that you do by yourself, than hanging out with people who are energy vampires, who are narcissists, or who are toxic in any way. And I don't need to tell you who these toxic people are, because most people know who are good and bad people in their life, but we still make this decision. We still choose to hang out with these people because we think that this is the only thing that's available and this is better than nothing. But this is something we need you to shift in 2025. You need to know that your own company, you being by yourself, maybe sitting and reading a book, listening to a podcast, watching a movie, or going for a walk, or just doing whatever you like, is better than hanging out with people who are not aligned to you. And I know it's hard. It's so much easier to say yes when somebody like offers you to take you out or make plans with you. It's so much easier to say yes than to say no when you actually are feeling lonely. But you need to understand, if that person that you're hanging out with, at the end of the day, if they're toxic for you, if you're draining you more than adding value to your life, there is actually no reason, no point, and nothing you're getting out of hanging out with that person, then there is no need for you to hang out with them. You're only slowing your progress, you're making your manifestations slower, and you're actually holding yourself back by hanging out with these people who are not aligned to you. And lesson number 2, if things are getting bad for you right now, if you are in a space in life where you feel like nothing's working out, and you've been doing the work, you've been doing your manifestations, you've been doing your affirmations, your visualization, you've been putting in all the work, but for some reason you see that the world around you is kind of falling apart, your job is not doing well, your relationship is not doing well, your career, your health, or something is falling apart, you need to look at it as a good thing is going to show up, because things usually fall apart, things usually go bad before something good happens in your life. So right now, if you are in this place where you're feeling like 2024 it's coming to an end, but there's nothing actually good that you're looking forward to, you need to understand that this is a sign from the universe that better things are coming up in 2025. And that is the reason why things in 2024 are going to shit, because when there is a destruction, when things go down, when things crumble and fall apart, it is from these ashes that something new rises. Because as long as you are giving your energy, your focus, your attention into things in your reality that are not serving you, you're not going to attract new things into your life. It could be a friendship, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be money, it could be anything. But if you're focused on things in your reality that are not adding value to you, universe needs to make these things fall apart. Universe needs to make you detached from these things in your reality so that new, better things can come into your life. So don't worry if things are not going your way. That is just a confirmation from the universe that these things need to be removed, need to be cleared, need to exit, recycle, delete from your life so new things can come into your life, okay? And the third thing that I want to mention, the third mistake that I found is focusing on the things that didn't work out, or focusing on the negative, or focusing on people that left your life, or the way something unfolded is not good for you. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to bring in anything better into your life. So to put this into perspective, so when I was at my new job, I was making a quite many mistakes, and I thought that, okay, you know, like my focus should be don't make mistakes, don't make mistakes, don't make mistakes. And the more I was focusing on not making mistakes, the more mistakes I was making. So you need to shift your perspective from not making mistakes to, oh, you know, like I'm gonna do a great job, I'm gonna do this successfully, I'm gonna have an amazing time, and this is going to be fucking fabulous and perfect because I'm divinely guided and I'm protected, and everything I do is aligned with the universe, and the universe takes care of me, so I make no mistakes. And when I started thinking about it this way, like instead of choosing to take away my focus from the mistakes and choosing on having a successful outcome, stopped making as many mistakes as I did. And this is so easy and this is so basic in life. When we do something, we focus on, oh my god, you know, this went wrong, why did it go wrong, how can I like fix it, how can I change it, what did I say, maybe I should have said something else, maybe I should have reacted this way, or you know, like maybe I shouldn't have said this, I shouldn't have done that. Instead of going into the over analyzing of what went wrong, focus on the end result of how you would want things to be. Right now, I can choose to manifest any reality that I want into existence. So what am I choosing to experience? What do I want to see in the future? If I keep thinking about that thing and how I can fix it and how I can change it, I'm gonna manifest the same reality into my future as well. I'm gonna manifest 2024 into 2025. Do I really want to do that? No. So instead of focusing on the mistakes, on what went wrong, on the things you feel like you could correct or whatever it is, focus on how you would want things to be in 2025. Focus on the things that you would want to attract, the experiences you would want to feel, the kind of people you would want to attract. Instead of focusing on the particulars of the materialistic thing, like, oh, I want this guy who's like 6 feet tall and does that and does this, or I want a friend who treats me like that, or I want a job that pays me this much. Instead of focusing on that, like, it is great to focus on these things. I'm not saying don't, but along with focusing on those things, you also want to focus on how it is going to make you feel, because end of the day, we're all just humans here on this earth, here to experience and feel these different emotions. Like if you want to make like 100K this year, it's probably because you want to get the feelings that you would feel when you hit that 100K. Maybe it's feeling wealthy, maybe it's feeling successful, accomplished, security, whatever your reason might be, you're trying to hit those feelings. So also focus on what are the feelings that you are trying to attract through these different experiences. So once you get a clarity about that, instead of focusing on the things that went wrong, on the mistakes, on the people that left, and the things that didn't work out, instead of focusing on those things, focus on what you want your 2025 to be. It's pretty simple, guys. Like, we're so used to focusing on the past and trying to fix the past and change the things that are really not within our control, which gives us anxiety, which gives us this unnecessary stress and emotions that we don't want to feel. Instead of focusing on those things, you can choose to shift your focus on things that you can actually control, on things you can actually manifest in your future. But in order to do that, all you have to do is you got to keep your mind open, and you got to remind yourself that just because something happened a particular way in the past that doesn't have to be your new future. That doesn't have to be your next reality. That doesn't have to be your next story. And that won't be your story only if you convince yourself, only if you believe truly that you deserve better than what happened last time. Because if you keep focusing on the past and if you keep thinking, oh my God, why did that happen to me? Well, that's gonna happen to you in 2025 as well, okay? So let's not focus on the bad and focus on all the good things that life has to offer. Because if you are a divine creature, if you're a soul put here on the earth to have literally whatever it is you want, and 2025 is the year that God has told you can have literally anything you want and all your desires will come true, what would you desire for? Would you still sit here and think about the things that didn't work out in 2024 and how you feel you're so left out, way far away from your goals of what you wanted to achieve and all that? Would you still sit and think about it, or would you be so excited for what is to come? And manifestation is not about just putting your desire out there. It's also about working your ass off to actually get what you want. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a way where you feel aligned, you feel called to do the things that you are passionate about, and you want to do it because you know that this is going to lead you to where you want to be. So taking that aligned action is also a really important part of 2025. And thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video has been long. 2024 has been an amazing year for me. I've seen some beautiful manifestations come to life. I've seen my own power of how I can think of something and it comes true instantly. And sometimes it's just like the most magical, miraculous things have happened for me this year. And I've also learned a lot. I've also grown a lot. I've done a lot of self-healing. I've learned to enjoy my own company in ways I feel like I became the man that I wanted to date, which is kind of funny, but it's all miraculous, and I feel like it's all happening for the best. So I wish you guys the same. I hope 2025 year is the best year for you guys so far in your life. Like, claim it. 2025 has to be the best fucking year of your life. And that is it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.